to the streets.
What's up? We're back. We are back. All that stuff. Happy New Year, everyone. I know we're coming in on the 8th and not like the 2nd or 3rd from other shows, but because of how Wednesday's kind of fallen since the New Year and the holidays, here we are. So thank you for all for joining us here at Rev Sports Wrap It Up. We got a lot to get into today, but first, lovely soul, my man Tvshka, how we doing?
Doing good. Happy New Year's to everyone.
I know.
I want to be lovely.
You are, but you know,
shucks.
everyone has their.
I'm freaking cold, y'all. Good Lord, it's getting cold. And so don't say anything. We know you're in Florida. Don't say anything.
Yeah. Florida.
You can stop screenshotting all your temperature pics before I block you.
Yeah. Nashville's about to get.
But when the polar vortex happens and it's 20 degrees in Miami, can I send those?
No, because it'll be like negative where I'm at. It'll be worse. Like you're still gonna be like 50 degrees warmer than everybody else.
Sure. Gotcha. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, so we've been away for 2 weeks, so let's get right into it and huck it, chuck it, football. We are it. Oh. There you go. She's in trouble, but that's not the topic we're going over right now. The one thing is, we are, who was in trouble was the Cincinnati Bengals. They clawed their way back, but wasn't worth enough. So we are our playoffs are set. All fantasy football for most are over. So congratulations on all you champions out there. And thoughts out to all of people have to going through dumb fantasy and some hilarious fantasy punishments. But just to kind of go through the headlines real quick, the Lions clinched the number 1 overall seed for the first time in franchise history. Congratulations to them. The Chiefs got shut out by the Broncos, which eliminated the Bengals. Some say they were kind of like playing 3D chess with that loss. I'm just saying. But we'll get to that a little later. We'll ask Tvshka, and he's going to be like, we don't care. Jaguars fired Doug Peterson. Raiders fired head coach Antonio Pierce because, unfortunately, once the season ends, certain people, unfortunately, lose their jobs because they underperformed. Titans fired GM Ran Carthen. Patriots fire head coach Gerard Mayo. Cowboys didn't fire Mike McCarthy, but what they did do was stop Mike McCarthy from talking to the Bears.
So fucking petty, dude.
If you want to see Jerry Jones be good at his job, look at his acting skills in that show with Billy Bob Thornton that just came out. Yeah, Landman. Apparently, he had like a really good. Yeah, people were actually like applauding him for his acting skills.
I mean, he sounded like a human.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's acting, then oh my god.
For Jerry Jones, but that's not the first acting skills. He's been in the league and he was in Entourage, guys. So it's the first time he's acted.
Was he in Draft Day?
Maybe. I've never watched the movie.
Kevin
so
Costner? Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'll watch the first round anyways.
Gotcha. Shut up. And to kind of go over the other coaches' firings, just catching one up. The Jets, Bears, and Saints fired their coach during the season. So these firings weren't the only ones that happened. Ravens haven't lost a game since Lamar's mom cussed him out. Aaron Rodgers broke the record for most sacked QBs all time with 566 sacks. And also, speaking about Lamar, he is the first quarterback ever to throw at least 40 touchdowns and less than 5 interceptions in a season. He also is the first quarterback ever to throw for over 4,000 yards and rush for over 800, 900, whatever it was in a season there. And then if we didn't talk about it before, he is the number 1 leading rusher all time for the quarterback position. He passed Michael Vick during the holiday season. Other notable records, I don't know off the top of my head. Put us in the chat what I missed as far as the records that we have in the season. Shout out to Jamar Chase for being like the very few, I think less than maybe right around 8 or so that have done the Triple Crown. in receiving, which means you led the league in receiving yards, touchdowns, and catches.
Your receptions, yeah.
Receptions.
He actually is the very first Triple Crown winner to not make the playoffs. So good job.
No.
Good job.
No.
Oh, no? Who else?
No.
Sorry.
It's actually an infamous clip that happened over this week. Oh, Shannon Sharp was making that statement. And Dan Orlovsky, because Dan Orlovsky was saying something about the Bengals. Weird. And he looked, and as soon as he starts saying it, he looks up and smiles at the camera and points and goes, "Your brother did."
Yep.
His brother. Sharp. And Shannon didn't hear him. He goes, "That's right, you can't." No. He did that a long time ago. And he goes, "You ask who was the last one to do it." Yeah. He still counts. So Sterling Sharp is the last, since Jamar Chase the first receiver since Sterling Sharp in 1992 to complete the Triple Crown without their team making the playoffs. There you go. And we'll get into Shannon a little bit later as far as our 2024 roundup.
Little teaser with that. Little foreplay.
But yes, that was quite the. I was like, that's why you were like, I'm like, are you setting me up like Shannon Sharp set up Orlovsky? Orlovsky finally won an argument, guys. It's one out of a gajillion that he finally won.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one. Because, I mean, McAfee was like applauding him for it. And he was like, hey, I mean, it's about time you got to win. He's like, I've won a lot. He goes, yeah, the one against Shannon. He was like, no, I've won other ones. He goes, yeah, okay. And he just moved on. So it was pretty funny there. But we do have our playoffs. Our playoffs are set. If you want to throw up that bracket, it's another bracket for all the bitches out there. We're not being mad about it. That's the title of our show. So
we don't have that bracket.
All right.
No, we do. You got to reload reload it.
Anyway, to kind of go through it, the number one seeds who get the first round bye. Okay, there used to be two, but now we have one. The Chiefs get the first round bye for the AFC, and the Lions get the first round bye for the NFC. The other ones to note, and I will kind of bring that up here before we get that up, because I can look at it. Just bear with me here. There it is. So we have the Vikings who got dismantled by the Lions on the last game of the season. They get the fifth seed playing the very I don't want to play the Rams. So they're very dangerous on that. Washington makes the playoffs for the first time in forever. It's like weird. New ownership, new coach, new quarterback. Playoffs. The Buccaneers, if they can hold Jay Daniels to under 14 points, I don't see how Washington's defense stops the Buccaneers there. The Packers kind of limped into the playoffs. I mean, they lost to the Bears last game of the season. I don't care how many players you rest. You don't lose to the Bears. Come on. So now all the Bears fans are like, yes, that's right. We own the Packers in 2025 because technically they do. And then the Eagles get the two slot there. Jalen Hurts was still in concussion protocol, but that was because he wasn't yet to get tested. But Schefter decided to tweet that out just to troll some people and piss off Philly fans because it doesn't take much. On the AFC side, like I said, the Chiefs get the number one seed, and the Chiefs get to play the winner of the Chargers and the Texans. If they play the Chargers, I'd be a little bit shaky. If somehow the Texans get past the Chargers, I think the Chiefs will move on. Either way, I think the Chiefs is going to be tough to beat. I think the Steelers and the Ravens are tired of playing each other, but the Steelers limped in, whereas the Ravens look really, really good. Zay Flowers is yet to practice because he had his knee injuries listed as day-to-day. They do need Zay Flowers if they want to make a deep run, or Lamar's going to get, they're going to be like, oh, you still can't win the playoffs. And then the Broncos and the Bills, that will be a fun game. So, thoughts on what has transpired?
So I'll let you go ahead.
I literally was like, my team's not in it. This is my least watched sport. So and one thing I didn't add to the thing, if we want to talk a little bit later, Tyreek Hill, but people just don't want to be in Miami anymore for some reason. I saw a little bit of the Lions-Viking game, and so Detroit, that's an interesting story for me. And I like an underdog, and even though they're not really an underdog this year, they have been in not great history for a while in history. So it'd be cool for Detroit to do well.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I wanted you to go first because I didn't want to like overstep maybe some of the talking points you had. I'm excited for the Bucks. I'm excited for them to upset the Commanders, even though they had a good run as far as the Commanders. But I don't know, man. LA and the Bucks have just been on a hot streak, so I feel like that might kind of happen. You'll see the Lions versus LA, and it not be the Vikings because they have not exactly been the Vikings that they were earlier in the season. And then the Packers, so they actually split with the Bears in the season. The Bears didn't win out, so Bears fans, settle the fuck down. All right, yeah, you got some wins. Good job, but chill out by saying you own the Packers.
In 2025, they technically do.
How?
Because the only time they've played the Packers in 2025, they won.
No, they lost to the Packers
in 2025 or 2024.
Oh, you said 25. Okay, sorry. I missed that main point. Okay, yeah. Well, still, chill the fuck out, dude.
Exactly.
Wait till next year where you probably will
the Bears fans need any little thing they can. So if they can sit there and say they own the Packers in 2025 for right now, that's technically a true
statement. Bears are doing a good job of being like a back pimple on the NFC North there. But no, I mean Philadelphia, depending on Jalen Hurts. He was in concussion protocol. Not sure the exact update today as far as what that looks like. But if there's any chance, he's going to play. I mean, he's a competitor, and this is the moment to where you really just kind of suck up any injury you can and get out there and play. For the AFC, man, I'm looking at that, like I said, kind of alluded to that Broncos-Bills game. I don't think it's a given that the Bills are going to win it. I think that's going to be a highly contested match.
Yes.
Be very interesting to see if, the rookie sensation, Bo Nix, could actually pull an upset there. Mainly because the Bills' defense hasn't been that great. But it is in Buffalo. That is a rocking stadium. Maybe they'll poison their food and just kind of give back, pay back in retribution since I think it was Denver that poisoned Michael Jordan whenever he traveled there. The pizza guys, don't order the pizza in Denver. But
how many levels of snow do you think will be in the stands that they'll have to shovel out?
Dude, it's insane. I mean, how many levels of snow are already there? I mean, there's a lot of people already getting snow. It hasn't hit us yet down here in Oklahoma, but it's about to tomorrow. But the fans will be out there if it does happen. Mm-hmm. They'll be out there shoveling with their bare hands and probably using their kids as a shovel, just dragging them across the lanes or something, whatever it is, to make it work.
Which they have before. There's videos of it.
Yep, exactly. But the Ravens, the Steelers, I mean, they had a good run. They showed some, flashes of redemption for, Russell Wilson. But the Ravens are just too stout right now to really even, be challenged by the Steelers. And what about J.J. Watt? TJ Watt, sorry.
He's fine.
TJ.
JJ is the older
brother.
Quick. The letters and their brothers, and they're good at defensive line.
Yeah.
So,
so Tej, not Jage.
Yeah.
What's his update? Because he wasn't.
I mean, he's gonna play, but he's not. He hasn't been good for the last 5 weeks. He's just playing through injury. The biggest thing as far as injury is concerned, the Packers, Christian Watson, their burner. He apparently probably tore his ACL in the Chicago game, so he won't be playing. At least, I mean, obviously he'll be done. But the Ravens, I don't think they're going to have Zay Flowers for this game. And honestly, if it's the playoffs, if you can go, you go. And it's the Steelers, Ravens. Yep. Lamar finally got over the hump as far as beating the Steelers this year as late in the season, even though it lost to them earlier. But the Steelers just haven't looked right.
Yeah, no, they've been a little bit, like you said, a kind of a shell of themselves. Plus, man, the Ravens are just too stout. Oh no, we can't throw to Zay Flowers. Great. You got Bateman, you've got Mark Andrews, you got so many other receivers, and then you got this little guy, just one of the goats at running back. just sitting back there and Derrick Henry having a stellar season. But then I honestly kind of feel the same way as as I do with the Steelers as I do the Texans. Injuries have really hurt them this year, but they're just not playing as well as they could have earlier in the season. I mean, there might be some jobs on the line, or some people kind of looking back at the season and seeing what went wrong and what adjustments are they going to make. And the Chargers, I mean, they're kind of the Cinderella, even though they're the number 5. Really, I mean, the Broncos did better in the season. It was just the way the chips lied as far as their ranking. But I mean, nobody really expected them to make playoffs, being Harbaugh's first year with him, and it's gonna be interesting. But I'm excited for it. And if you are excited for it, let us know. Let us know your picks. When are we going to be doing a bracket? Are we going to do that? We're doing bracket bitches this Friday, or?
We could probably do bracket bitches this Friday, but definitely join the Discord. It's down below, and send in brackets. I think I said by 3 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday is when I will take brackets for us to do. Show yourself in your bracket, and you get to speak about you and praise or make fun of you, depending on your choices. And so you want to be a part of that. Come on. It'll be so much fun.
Exactly. And just can't wait for me to lose again, because it ain't going to happen in college football. So,
oh my God, man. Yeah.
It's pretty much all of us have been busted in college football.
Yeah. Speaking of college football, Josh, what the hell's going on up there?
I don't know. Let me. I found the video real quick, because I haven't gotten this little production thing done yet. So let me do this real quick.
While you do that, Ryan, what's going on, big dog? Yeah, these week 18 injuries seem like a good idea to rest players, if you can, even if your team loses 38-0. Yeah. I mean, if we could have rested more people, that we probably would have, but we legally had to have somebody play the game.
Yeah. Shout out to Dwarf Jalen for posting this on TikTok, even though I took it off of X. So, but here's the Orlovsky actually winning an argument.
God, yes.
Hey, Dio, since you this historian and analyze the game, can you tell us when the last time a Triple Crown winner in the since the merger hadn't made the playoffs?
Your brother?
I can't either. No. I can't either.
You asked me the last time it happened. 1992.
That you had
1992.
He didn't have a
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, love it.
All right. I had to find that. So shout out to Dwarf. Everybody's clicking stuff. Shout out to Dwarf Jalen for making a little mashup there. But just his little, so someone even did the meme. You know how people are like, they send a pictures like, if I send you this, it means X, Y, and Z happens. Mm-hmm. It was if you sent Orlovsky's little. Yeah. It means I'm going to own your ass. That's what that means.
Before going though to college football, real quick, do you guys have any thoughts on the Tyreek Hill wanting out of Miami? I
don't know. Maybe he's feeling a little bit remorseful for chasing money and not chasing rings.
Mm-hmm. My brother said that the other day. Goes, you can't leave the best team for money and then be upset that you're not in the playoffs.
Yeah. What's up with superstars and being angry about being in Miami and making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars like we never even think about making in our lives? But we'll get to that other one later.
I'm mad I'm not poor in Miami right now.
Yeah.
I'm poor in Oklahoma and it's cold. I want to be warm. If I'm gonna be broke, I want to be warm. And
that's true.
Down south.
If I'm broke, I want to be comfortable as far as weather-wise.
Exactly,
you'd have to pay less for jackets and blankets and other things of that nature.
Yeah.
Dude, do you guys even have snow shovels for sale in Florida?
Probably not.
Right?
Last time
everybody's Amazon shipping them to them.
The last time it snowed in Florida, my parents, who are now in their 60s, they were 17 years old, and it lasted for 5 minutes. And it was that type of snow that once it hits the ground, it just melts. So it was like for 5 minutes, my parents were in school. They went to the windows to watch the snow fall for 5 minutes when they were 17.
So maybe that's why people were wanting to leave. Just saying.
No snow.
Maybe they're like, we were told there's no snow here. It's gonna snow. I'm out. Trade me. Yeah.
To a snowier
South
place.
and plus, Tyreek, you were awful this year.
Oh, dude. I believe he was your bust. He was your fantasy football bust.
Yeah, he was awful.
His only win was against the cop.
Yeah.
He fought the law and he won. But yeah, that's what it was at the beginning of the season. They realized, that guy was clairvoyant and realized that Tyreek was trying to leave at the end of the season, so he was trying to lock him there.
No lock up.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a bad joke. College football. Stuff happened. No, bowl games and the playoffs are going on. But to kind of go over what happened, Texas holds on to beat Arizona State in overtime. A questionable no call on targeting that people were talking about left, right, and center that could have won Arizona State the game. But it didn't get called. Some people would say that there was some bias there. But no here, no there. It didn't get called. And they still had a shot to beat Texas, and they threw an interception. So
lost to the team, man.
There you go. Penn State dismantles Boise State and Heisman Trophy finalist Ashton Jeanty, who did declare for the draft. Surprise, surprise. That's a shocker of the century. Ohio State, they showed up and should have just gave them the trophy. That's how bad they beat Oregon. It wasn't. You're watching that game, and you're just sitting there. How did they lose to Michigan again? I just don't get it.
In front of Sabrina, too. Sabrina was there.
Sabrina was there. But yeah, Dan Lanning, I'm like, that's a good Oregon team. That's not like they went to a bad clock management, like play for play down to the very wire in the regular season. Granted, it was at Oregon, and it's in the Rose Bowl's in Pasadena, and thoughts of those people going through some crap there. But right now, it's like that's not a bad Oregon team. That Ohio State team made them look like just a middle of the pack team. And it's just like you had to go back and look at that Michigan game thinking you are so just mind fucked by Michigan that you try to beat Michigan by Michigan's way. And you can't do that. So now you're seeing, and of course, now Michigan fans are like, see, if it wasn't for us showing you that you can be beat, you wouldn't be playing like you are. So, I mean, Michigan fans are just still just beating them down. Like they can't stop. There was a sign on Raw as The Rock is sitting there when they debuted on Netflix. It says, it's been 1,893 days since Ohio State has beat Michigan. Like they can't escape it. They can't escape it on there. And then
like
Notre Dame
is just tormented is like, all right, we're just going to go to the wrestling show. We're just going to forget about all the noise. Motherfucker. It just sees the sign goes off. He was probably the one that started booing Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Well, it was in LA. Like, why do you have a Michigan sign in it? Anyway, Notre Dame shocks the world and upsets Georgia. And that wasn't like a fluke game. No, Notre Dame just beat them. Like they were the better team. They were more physical
from the first quarter on.
Yeah, from the first quarter on. I mean, shout out to that walk on that his dad probably gave. He just looks like his dad gave enough money to the team that he just was lad on the team, type of thing. Like that's just how he looked. And they kept showing him. Like at some point he didn't have any effect on the fact that they were just getting their ass kicked. But they kept showing him. I'm like, what are you doing, ESPN? Like, what? This kid is already dead. Quit beating him. Down.
Notre Dame walk on?
Georgia walk on.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, it was like the beginning of the first. It was like right around the first quarter. Georgia gets a great play, and the referee is like running down the sidelines. But the thing is, he kind of took an out. Like he was kind of like past the sidelines, like more on the Georgia bench, and that kid is standing like not too far from him, and the referee just collides with them. They throw a flag for interfering with the ref because, the ref needs to be keeping up with the play. So it keeps them from doing that. So it moves them back, and they end up only got held to a field goal where that could have been a big momentum swing. So as far as I know, they haven't been confirmed, but I did see on X where the kid did come out and say he is transferring. So it's like, yeah, he can't be on campus.
Josh, we don't call it X. We dead name Twitter. It's Twitter.
Okay. Whatever. I don't know. I'm you call it what you want. That the app, just the website that people post on. He put that out there that he was now allegedly he didn't get, there wasn't any confirmed nor denied on that, but yeah, this kid's gonna have a hard time. But yeah, and my bracket is screwed because I had Oregon. So yeah,
along with almost everyone else.
Yeah, I'm okay, Justin. We'll get into that tomorrow. Okay, I'm okay. On Ruckus Wrestling, join us tomorrow. You might. It's gonna be a funeral. We're having just the end of an era. But we'll get into just tune into Ruckus Wrestling tomorrow. Just tune into Ruckus Wrestling.
And you're talking about this kid?
Yeah,
right.
That kid.
Yeah.
So where he's standing, then you see the referee. No, he's just a red shirt walk on, and you see the referee, and this is seconds before the referee collides with the kid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, his toes are definitely over the line there.
Yeah, I mean he's right on the sidelines. He's supposed to be back behind the sidelines where those little lines are. Like why he's that close, I do not know. But
maybe he's an Isaiah Likely fan. I don't know.
Yeah. That was AI technology. Like as Ronnie Raven says, that's some AI technology that made his toes that big.
Joe Flacco.
But yeah, Soul, just thoughts so far on, I don't know how much of the college football playoff you have watched. It really, other than Texas and Arizona State, it's kind of been blowouts. So.
I watched the Rose Bowl, and that was because my parents and I were at a sports bar. And so we were having dinner there, and like literally every single TV was the Rose Bowl except for one, which was playing the Louisville men's basketball game. So I guess someone there must have asked specifically for that because it was only one TV.
we rolled deep in Miami.
No, it wasn't even in Miami. It was in Marco Island, Florida.
We were coming. Me and my buddy. Speaking about that, me and my buddies were coming back from Panama, and I was driving. And I said, all right, whatever we do, I don't care. But I am stopping and watching the Big East final with Louisville and Notre Dame. And that was right when a big UFC fight was going on. So I'm sitting there like just watching it from this little bitty TV and all these other UFC stuff's going on around me. So I understand that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I think I even texted you about it because I was like, this is hilarious. Josh would be proud. He'd be watching both screens.
I'd be like listening to it in the background. Plus, after Jeremiah Smith just caught like his 7th touchdown in the first quarter, I wouldn't even pay attention anyway. So, yeah.
Well, I like how none of the top seeds won.
Yeah,
that was great.
None of the buys.
Yeah. So number 1, number 2, and 3, and 4. So I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit of testament of maybe having a little bit too much time off on your hands.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's really only 2 weeks, maybe 3. So maybe take a page from the old playbook and just go play some other like Division 3 team and just scrimmage them just to keep fresh, or just keep the pads on.
The winner of Penn State Notre Dame, well, whoever wins that team will have the first African American head coach to play for a national championship with James Franklin and Marcus Freeman. So there you go. There's that history for you. Also, the only thing I wouldn't change anything because it's the first 12-team playoff that we've had, and people were they didn't deserve to be there. I told you they weren't good. Blah blah blah. SEC's the Texas Big 12 still. I don't care what you put on their jerseys. That's a Big 12.
Big 12 baby.
Bama got beat by Michigan, so shut up. As long as Michigan plays Ohio State and Alabama, I think they'll win every game. That's what's I've come to fact there. But yeah, just the SEC was a poor showing because everyone else has NIL. This is what I thought it would happen, even though once they settle down and as far as like the big dogs in the sport, they'll figure it out. But those those kids that you can keep as like second and third string to wait their turn, they're not waiting their turn anymore. If they're good enough to start somewhere else the next year and make a bag on top of it, they are going to leave. So they lose that depth that they typically don't have. Plus, that's another reason why I think Saban left is because he realizes he can't stamp his foot and own the sport anymore. He just can't. As much as he can bring in kids, but the way the system he works, and most coaches would like to have those depth pieces and the second and third strings, but year in, year out, you just can't do it. with the way it's set up. So that's why I think you're seeing this SEC take a little bit of step back, and the Big Ten kind of running things right now.
Also, I mean, we want to get racist here. Steve Sarkisian. Yeah. Well, I just like how I say it. He's actually Armenian. Yep.
There you go.
Middle Eastern. Go brown people. That's right.
Me and Tvshka can cheer for that.
Let's go. And he's Irish. So let's go Irish brown people.
And Ryan Dade uses a lot of Just for Men on his beard. Look at it again. Tell me he doesn't. That has nothing to do with your comment, but I just had to throw in something about Ryan Day.
Because you're
Tvshka, a white man had to speak.
I've been speaking the whole damn show.
It's our turn now. All right.
You made me host. I'm just putting it out there. You're the one that made me host.
Yeah, we just thought the audience would receive it better coming from a point of authority.
Right. No. Well, that's it. No. Anyway. I just can't catch a break this week. Jesus.
You were a diversity or a
you're a diversity hire.
That's it. Yeah, DEI works. Anyway, that's not what the show's about. Anything else on college football before we move on to something more round? No. Okay.
No, just excited for a shitty NFL draft this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. But anyway, Ashton Genty, I'm going to love you as a Cowboy. It's going to happen. We're going to make this happen. Someone figure it out.
Jerry Jones is going to make the right decisions on anything?
Because he's a flashy player. Jerry Jones loves flashy players. So that's not named Zach Martin. That's the one he wanted Johnny Manziel, and his son was like, "No, Dad, we are getting a future Hall of Fame lineman. Sit down and let me at least let me get this one." And then we got CeeDee Lamb, and that was a good pick. But then Jerry comes out and just like, "I love CD. He's so good. I'm surprised I fell to us." I'm like, Jerry, he's a first-round draft pick. Like, it's just, you weren't Sherlock Holmes discovering him. Like, you didn't find it. Like, it didn't take much to figure out that CeeDee Lamb was the best receiver in that damn class. But that's nor here nor there. Let's move on to some other things. That is basketball. So
beautiful.
We are in. Thank you. Our harmonizing is on point. I just don't want any vocal coach to tell us that. Derrick Rose. Good one. That was a good one. Derrick Rose jersey is going to be retired by the Bulls. I think he already gave his speech and everything about it. So that ceremony was really good. Obviously, I'm a big D Rose fan. Especially when it came to 2K, that one 2K game, man, he was awesome. He was my favorite player to do it. But he just played the game the right way. All he wanted to do is just be the best he could at the sport. He didn't go out there there's that infamous video of all the starting lineup of the All-Stars coming out, and they're all dancing, and Derrick Rose is just stoic, just like, I just want to play. And it's just very.
He loved basketball. It was his love.
Yeah, and he got to play for his city. Bring them the joy that they felt in the 90s when MJ and those Bulls teams in the 90s were there. It was the first time they really felt it. I mean, they really had a great team with Noah, Boozer, Corey Brewer. That was a great Corey Brewer. But anyway, those just great teams, and it just stunk for what unfortunately happened to him. But typically that would take anyone out, but he still came back and had some great things here and there. Especially that 50-point game where he, was in tears because he worked his ass off to finally get to that point when he was in Minnesota. And then he had a really cool couple of years there for the Knicks to kind of get them riding the ship to where they are now. So that was really cool there. Any thoughts on Derrick Rose? And we talked about before some earlier shows, but, with anything with a speech or anything of that nature.
Well-deserved.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We talked about it when it was like the full retirement, full everything, and like those. It's always sad to see like players that you really enjoyed or watched when you were younger retire. We've seen a lot, like when we were talking about U.S. Women's National Team. I think he's still crying over Alex Morgan. So, but yeah, well deserved, man. And so. That's pretty much all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't got much to say, but just a little bit to show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Saul. I didn't mean to cover you up, but
No, we're thanking you, Soul. Just covering your face, though.
yeah, but yeah, it's a nice little mural that they did there in Chicago, and I believe it is of. Yeah, no, it's not roses. They gave him roses, but some kind of like felt material. Like it's actually like lifted up above. I don't know. Maybe it's cake. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they just shot an episode
Is it
of,
cake?
Is it cake or not?
Yeah, I did like during the whole retirement when he's giving his speech and talking to his kid, and his kid's all tearing up, and then he's sitting there holding he's just holding a rose the whole time, and I was like, can you play that Seal song? Just do it, like this cover rose, please, just do it. All
right, that's enough. We'll get copyright.
I know, right? Anyway, so but the NBA going on with it. I mean, we're in full swing. The Cavs don't look like they're going anywhere. They're having I haven't checked the score, but Oklahoma City and Cleveland.
It was over 100 points at the end of the third quarter. That's like tells you how good the Cavs and OKC. The Cavs and OKC are good.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, and you know who's on that team? Exactly. No, I know who they are, but it's just not like there's no LeBron, there's no Steph, there's no Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
but there is Shea Gilgeous.
Ended up winning 129 to 122.
Wow.
Yeah. So
actually, had the over
scoring fourth quarter, because in the third quarter each team scored over 40 points, and then they barely scored 20 in the fourth. So
yeah,
probably a lot of defense, maybe some forced shots.
Yeah,
not going down. Yeah.
Yeah, but those two teams are for real this year. I knew Oklahoma City was going to be, but Cleveland really didn't make any like roster moves. They just got a new coach. But hey, if people that say coaching, people that say coaching doesn't matter in the NBA, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you just roll the ball out there and just say, hey, Steph, Draymond, KD, just do whatever and make me feel good.
Yeah.
But hey, with the tandem of Donovan, I mean, they still have all-stars. Like each team still has all-stars. Like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was up there for MVP last year for Oklahoma City. Donovan Mitchell has been a perennial all-star for years and years, for multiple years at least. And then Darius Garland for them. Evan Mobley. Mobley. Thank you. Yeah. He was one of their first round draft picks, and he's playing really well there. But I think really what's made not Oklahoma City, because I mean I don't think did Holmgren play tonight in that
that I don't know, but I mean sticking with Cleveland, Jarrett Allen, was the other the star that basically just kind of helped carry them over. Him and Mobley each got over 20 points. Yeah. But then for talking for the Thunder. I don't see him on there.
Gotcha. Yeah, because he's still injured. That's how good Oklahoma is. Yeah. Because they don't even have Chet Holmgren.
Wiggins. Yeah, I don't think he played.
Yeah.
Looks like really not a whole lot of people on the Thunder played, unless for some reason it's just not loading up the rest of the stats.
It's either going to be if you see in the bench it says DNP coach's decision or something like that, then you'll see that.
This one doesn't even show that. Doesn't even show all the players.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I mean, SGA getting 31 points like he always does. Jalen Williams though, really been a great help.
Isn't Caruso on that team?
Caruso?
Yeah.
I see Case and Wallace.
Okay.
But Hortenstein.
There he is, the secret weapon, Hortenstein.
Well, here's the thing, because the mayor of Oklahoma City, I believe, put it out. And since Hortenstein joined earlier this season, they've been in the 17 games. I believe they've been 15-2 since he's jumped on board, and they've won 12 straight. So other than tonight, so I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of a injection as far as like the post game because he's a center out of Germany. But I'm excited for it because. We just haven't been to the playoffs since 2014, really seriously. I mean, last year was.
And your team's doing good.
It is. It's a good year for me sports wise. Yeah. If only that, I'm holding on. I'm like the cat, just holding in there. Hold on. And that bar is sports. But no, that's a good year for them. But for Cleveland, though, I think that's the bigger story.
Yeah.
For one, them beating and snapping that 12-game winning streak, but them playing team ball, kind of like you alluded to, Josh. It's not hero ball. I mean, you still got your stars, but really with Jarrett Allen and Mobley really kind of stepping up. It's exciting to see. I mean, we're just seeing that new crop of talent coming out and really asserting themselves. And I'm excited to learn about them because, you kind of get complacent sometimes in sports knowledge and just, it's LeBron, it's, Durant. Yeah. But then you hear all these new names and like, wait, what the fuck? I got to pay attention. Mm-hmm. And you always get to fall in love with the sport again because you don't get complacent with it.
Mm-hmm. And with Cleveland, they're definitely playing like one of those where sum is greater than its parts, which is something we'll get into like Miami Heat in a little bit. I think Miami Heat is very good at doing that. When we, after our D-Wade, LeBron, Bosh years with Coach Bo, and Josh and I are huge Coach Bo fans, so coaching is very important. Coaching can make it where the culture, the scheming, the game plans, all of those things can really make players play like a team and then do way better than you would think that you're like, wait, this team's playing really well and they're winning and they're doing better and playing against superstars and beating them. And that's the mentality that you're seeing with Cleveland this year.
Yeah, because like I said, obviously the reason Cleveland is because they start off like 13, 14-0, something like that. It was the hottest start they've ever had in franchise history, even when LeBron was there. But their star is technically Donovan Mitchell, but it's not like everything runs through him. That's the difference. Now, obviously, I'm bringing up Donovan Mitchell a lot. Being a Louisville fan, he is a Louisville guy who does a lot for the city of Louisville.
We were just about to click on it too.
We were on the Supersonics.
Okay, OKC stole it away.
Hey, Seattle, you gave it away. Okay,
true.
Sorry, we showed up for the team. Y'all didn't. I do miss the Supersonics, dude. I loved.
Also, great name.
Payton. Yeah, Supersonics, dude, so dope.
I don't know why I just thought of this. You talk about the cat hanging from the tree. There's a blonde hanging from a tree. Do you know a one-armed blonde hanging from a tree? You know how to get them down? You wave.
There you go.
All right, there's your dumb, stupid.
Say like their nose.
I had to get. It was just bugging me too much.
Yeah.
All right, the NBA did announce. Speaking about All-Stars, they did announce a new format for the 2025 All-Star Game. You can do whatever you want. Just you know what the new format should be? They care. That would be the number one thing. But there's a mini tournament featuring 4 teams. Each team will be played to a final target score of 40 points, like TBT. And championship team gets $125 per player. Oh my gosh,
$25,000. Sorry,
$125. I'm like,
I know. I forgot.
They make some of them make that like a sec by waking like a second.
I'm gonna put the K's next to it.
Okay, now we're cooking with trees. Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, dude.
All right.
I made more in tips.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You would get me to play for $125. Heck, people make more anyway.
I love how Josh is like, I'm gonna read things specifically exactly how it said.
He broke him on that one. You can watch the replay. He's like,
I'm gonna read the prompter. Okay.
Damn it. Who put a question mark in the teleprompter? He reads everything that's there.
I was getting ready. I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, that seems oddly low.
Yeah, I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm running $125 for NBA players to play. Like that's really gonna help boost the. Okay, that's why
they don't care.
Yeah, put that in the 2025 reel for.
They probably spend a lot more on dinner than that.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? They spend more on like drinks.
Yeah,
actually, $50 is probably the tip to valet.
Yeah, you go to Vegas at $125 is like half a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But second place team does get $50,000. There's the K.
Hey.
Per player. Good. Second place team. Second place team gets that. Third and fourth place team gets $25,000 per player. And then Chuck, Shaq, Kenny, and Candace Parker will be GMs of the 4 teams. So that's really cool there. So thoughts? I don't think this is still going to matter, but it's at least they're trying.
I like that they're putting the TBT format, and I think the target score, both in TBT and TST, is really cool and a really fun way to change up like the game of basketball, and then with TST to change the game of soccer in a really fun way. So that might make it a little bit more interesting because that's really fun, is the target score stuff. So I'm interested to see that with NBA players, because I've seen it with TBT with like good basketball players, but they're not professionals really. Right. So to see that now with professional players, if they care, it can be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Ernie Johnson, you deserve better, bud. You should have been the other coach.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Yeah. Who would you take out though? Right? I mean, we're keeping Candace in.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like, I mean, Chuck.
I just the sound bites of Chuck just being that's terrible, man. That's a terrible pass.
Oh, why'd you do that? I told you not to do that, but you did it. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's some fat women in San Antonio. That's an actual quote, not my thoughts. Yeah, I saw the ball. It went there. That's why I do it. I'm Shaq.
I did it. When Pharaoh does it with the cross eyes, dude, I lose it. I like Kenny though. I do like Kenny the Jet.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So thoughts? Is this going to help or not?
If they have fun with the target score, it might help.
Okay.
Adding that in is the part that interests me the most. The money doesn't interest me. They're not getting, even though we added the K, they're not getting up for that money either.
No. Which is kind of crazy, but but we all understand it. Everyone knows that. Like no one cares about the regular season. They only care about the playoffs. That's when most of all of us like tune in, because the playoffs it's like baseball. Playoff baseball and playoff basketball are just a different animal. Kind of same thing with hockey, but hockey's just so fun to watch anyway.
Yeah.
But moving on. All right, our boy Jimmy Butler. Why are you just never happy anywhere? Like, I don't understand that. For those who don't know, Shams has taken over for Woj as far as the insiders for the NBA, because Woj was just like, I'm tired of doing this. I'm just going to move on to go to my alma mater, be their GM there, and handle their NIL. So Shams took over, and he said kind of like towards the beginning of the season that, things are looking like Jimmy Butler might be, the Heat might be looking to trade Jimmy Butler. But we were like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then Pat Riley comes out, makes a statement, goes, we're not trading Jimmy Butler. We're just not doing that. Then recently, Jimmy Butler's like, yeah, I want to be traded.
Looking like that?
Yeah, looking like that. So that is cut my wrist and trade my ass. Cut my wrist and trade. And so, December 26th is when Pat Riley made that statement. And then, we usually don't comment on rumors, and all this speculation has become a distraction to the team and is not fair for the players and coaches. Therefore, we'll make it clear we're not trading Jimmy Butler. Well, fast forward, Jimmy Butler does Jimmy Butler things because no one's going to tell Jimmy Butler what to do. And so now the team has suspended Jimmy. So just like, what are we doing? The Miami Heat has released the following statement. We have suspended Jimmy Butler for 7 games for multiple instances of conduct detrimental to the team over the course of the season, and particularly the last several weeks. Through his actions and statements, he has shown he no longer wants to be part of this team. Jimmy Butler and his representatives have indicated that they wish to be traded. Therefore, we will listen to offers. So, fill us in. What's going on down there?
Yeah.
Okay. So last year, everyone remembers Jimmy Butler gets injured against the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then Jimmy Butler basically says, we would have beaten the Celtics if I didn't get injured. And Pat Riley, being Pat Riley, says, if you're not playing, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Because Heat is very much the Heat culture. As we were talking about with Cleveland, it is about the team. It's not about the superstar. There's a reason why we had LeBron only for 4 years, because he cared more. He's more of the superstar than really the team where like D Wade or like UD. Not everyone can be Udonis Haslem, who took a pay cut so that way the team could win. And then for that, Pat Riley was like, you can be on the team for as long as you want and sit the bench, and I will pay you your salary until you decide to retire. So that kind of became their. So when you put the team first, Pat Riley will do everything for you. But if you start to show that eccentricness that Jimmy Butler shows and that LeBron shows, as much as we love him, like I love LeBron, I love Jimmy. Pat Riley's not really going to deal with that. For good and for bad. And Miami, we're great at making teams better. We overachieve, and we kind of do the sum is greater than our parts. And you got to give Pat and Spo credit for that. But because of that, we never really got Jimmy his help that he needed. Jimmy, he's not a number one. He's a number two, which like there's nothing bad to say about that. Like D Wade, my favorite player. I think your favorite player as well, Josh, was the number two to LeBron. Like there's nothing bad about being the number two. You can still be a great basketball player. You can still be a Hall of Fame worthy basketball player, which I think Jimmy Butler is a Hall of Fame worthy basketball player.
Oh yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. There's I'm not.
But yeah, it's you have some people in Miami that are pissed off at Jimmy. You have some people in Miami that are pissed off at Pat. You have some people that are like, he had some of his best years with us. He got us to 2 finals. Like we enjoy him as a player. And we're just laughing at Kevin Love, which we'll get into. And that's kind of where I'm at. I would love for Jimmy to want to play the game of basketball, have fun playing the game of basketball down here and playing well for us. If Kevin Love, with his last Instagram post, if he can do that and have Jimmy stay, then that could be like a good redemption story. But yeah, I don't know. And I'm giving one of the most I could be one of those Miami fans that is just like, fuck Jimmy. Like, you stay or you're out. Like, I'm not doing that.
Right. Tvshka, have you looked into this any?
Yeah, we found a new picture. Most recent picture of Jimmy.
Rob and Jimmy Butler. Yeah. Yeah.
It's worse than we thought. It's worse than we thought, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kicking cameramen in the nuts.
But
oh,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, with this, I mean, you hate to see it. I mean, because I like Jimmy Butler as a player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, with his whole storied career, like we talked about earlier, he's pretty much a journeyman now, and apparently he's going to keep moving on. But yeah, I mean, whenever there's differences of opinion or maybe just a difference of motivation, because he said, kind of in one of the press conferences that he can't find his joy on the court anymore. So I don't know. I mean, if you're losing your love of the game, I mean, look within first, but at the same time, sometimes just situations get stale and, relationships kind of falter. So I think it's best for everybody if they just kind of move on from this, because definitely right now it's a little bit of a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't think any amount of money is going to help save that.
No. It's just gotta look at Jimmy's career. Everywhere he's been great, like you said, on the court. But it just seems that he reminds me a lot like Zlatan. Like, he's amazing. You want him on your team, but just gotta deal with all the other stuff that comes along with eccentric stuff. And I mean, and Jimmy is eccentric. Now, he's not Zlatan level. No one's ever Zlatan level.
Yeah,
we love and Zlatan. No one ever. If someone ever reaches Zlatan level, Zlatan will do something else to make sure he's still atop of that.
I love the way you say Zlatan.
Yeah, Zlatan. I don't care. That's what I said. Said his name.
No, I thought it was the action of being a slut. I thought that's what you were saying.
No,
slut.
No.
Sorry, different image in my head.
Yeah.
than a 6 foot tall Eastern European soccer player.
No, LeBron James sent Zlatan of signed jersey to Zlatan, and Zlatan signed his name and sent it back to him. Like that's literally like how he is. And then
when he came to LA, it was really even too when he came to LA, he took out an ad in the newspaper and then said, "You're welcome."
Right.
And it was a full page ad.
And then they were asking about, like, I guess he got his wife some like big type of extravagant gift, and they're like, "What'd you get your wife?" He goes, "She has Zlatan. Like, she doesn't need." Like, that's what he said. He's like, or like, no, she gave him a big gift. They're like, "What'd you give her?" He goes, "I'm Zlatan. She has Zlatan. That's what she has. That's her gift." Just look up. He's like the Chuck Norris jokes of like just crazy, like. Yeah, and it's anyway. But
if you watch the 3rd season of Ted Lasso, that character is based off of Zlatan.
Yeah, on that. So yeah, just anyway. But that's just kind of what Jimmy's like tenure. Like he's been in so many teams, and everywhere he's been great. They've always made playoff runs because Jimmy is on the team and all of his contributions. He's great on the court. But then you always hear off the court stuff with him. But the thing is, Jimmy's going to be Jimmy. Kind of like the same thing with Dennis Rodman. It's an amazing talent. You can't have him not on the court, but off the court, you just know what you gotta deal with. Like he went from Chicago, then he went to the 76ers. I'm not getting exactly the teams, but he went to 76ers. Now again, Joel Embiid's a different situation, and he was there. I think James Harden was there with him at the same time. You talk about 3 different egos. You knew that probably wasn't going to work. And then he goes to Minnesota, never is happy there because I think Tibbs might have been the coach at that point. Then he comes to Miami. Seems like, because Spo can work with any. Yeah. That's how good Spo is. He can just work with anything. But Pat Riley, the standard is the standard with him. And he's not going to hurt his culture for one player. He's just not going to do that. And so if you're going against what everything he's built to keep that Heat culture, that the sum is less is greater than the parts. If I got that saying right, then that's what Pat's not. He's not going to bite his lip because he's worked his tail off. I mean, and just to hand it over to Spo because it's a handpick. Spo's still doing what he's supposed to be doing. Alonzo Mourning, who's been like his right-hand man forever, he's still right there. It's all that Heat culture he's building, and he's not going to ruin it for one player. That's basically what Pat Riley's saying. It sucks that Jimmy's getting paid millions of dollars.
He's not going to do it for Jimmy Butler.
No.
So with Jimmy Butler, drafted 2011 by Chicago, was there for 7 years. In 2017, for 1 year he was with Minnesota. Then 2018 he was with the Philadelphia 76ers for 1 year. Okay. And then he's been in Miami for looks like 6. So
wasn't he on the Timberwolves?
Yeah, Minnesota 2017.
Okay, it was okay. All right.
Yeah, just 1 year though.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what team he moves on to, because he definitely ain't staying there.
No,
unless Kevin Love. We're gonna go through Kevin Love trolling, and his last one gets to the point of us going, "Wait, what does this mean, Kevin? Is he staying or not?" But first off, Kevin Love, he posted this Boys to Men picture. And he, with the cover of It's So Hard to Say Goodbye playing. And he wrote here, "The Power of Friendship 2025 was his caption for this photo with the song. So at first, we're cracking up. K-Love, you're just having some fun here. Then, Josh, you have the next thing. Then he posts this video with the caption, "Last 3 hours, emo state." So it seems he's a little bit in an emo state because of the Jimmy Butler news.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
Yeah. I thought I clicked the right one. There we go.
And then he posted this video with the caption, "Entering my Winston Wolfe phase." For those who don't know, Winston Wolfe is a character from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it's already playing, so I'm going to let it kind of, you might see it kind of repeat there for a second, but just deal with it. Clicking on the right video here. Oh, shoot.
Wrong one.
You're Jimmy, right? This is your house?
Sure is.
I'm Winston Wolfe. I solve problems.
Good, we got one.
So I heard. May I come in?
Yeah, please do.
So having a little fun there. And then and finally his most recent one is he posted this video with the caption, Jimmy after yesterday's news.
I was out. They pulled me back in. Our true enemy has not yet shown his face.
I just
Just
want
when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
So is Kevin Love gonna convince Jimmy Butler to stay in Miami? Your thoughts on Kevin Love trolling, and also that it's coming from Kevin Love, which I would not expect this from K Love, but
It's coming from his account.
yeah.
So I would venture to guess that Kevin Love is not editing his own fucking videos.
No. But he's
and
approving
dubbing
it.
over. But yeah, he's definitely approving it. I don't know, maybe one of his kids, for Christmas got a gaming computer that they, got a free Adobe subscription, and they're just making memes. If so, I'm all for it. I love the chaos and the anarchy of just going to the internet streets, just throwing all types of shit out there. And I'm always gonna be down for a good Boyz II Men or a Deftones reference. Absolutely love that. They are back to back in a couple of my playlists, so it's an eclectic mix.
So and then it was so hard to say goodbye, but I was just like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, all right. I was thinking, it's End of the Road was gonna play, and it's so hard to say goodbye. Like that works. Yeah. Dang, either one. Shout out to Boyz II Men. They had two that were just ready. They were just ready.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he stays, and then he picks Motown Philly.
Yeah, even though it's a Philly song and not a Miami Heat song.
I mean,
maybe he gets straight into Motown Philly.
Think of just the storyline. If he stays, and then the Heat do well in the playoffs, which we do with playoff Jimmy, that could be a storyline.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, any time he is on the court this year, I mean, there's going to be reference to it. There's going to be a joke. I'm hoping the NBA attendees show up like wrestling fans, troll the shit out of them with your signs.
Come with the emo hair.
Oh my god, please! I kind of want that to be. I want a T-shirt of that. I think I'm going to make one. Just a little stencil outline of just emo him. And then just put Deftones at the bottom.
I mean, that shows his eccentric nature. That's what every year he knows, this is media day. I'm going to put my hair in a different, ridiculous way because this is the picture that's going to be used every time we play basketball. So he had the Rastafarian hair. Mm-hmm. He did the emo hair. He's always doing something weird, except for
looking like The Weeknd. Yeah. And the Rodman.
Just shows you who he
he's
is.
just got to do the Rodman one this next year.
Mm-hmm. Good. You got to do that. But moving on to the collegiate side of things, not as crazy Jimmy Butler stuff going on. We're just playing basketball. But Zava. That was a character's name on Ted Lasso. Okay, thanks Ryan for that, because I was like, what was his character's name? I couldn't remember. But in college basketball, Cooper Flagg is really good for Duke. He reclassified, so he's only 17 years old. He was the number one ranked recruit coming out of out of high school. Sorry, he probably will be the number one overall draft pick. He's that good, and he took a man's soul last night. So this is what happened against Pitt. Let's just watch that again. Yeah, so
I mean, terrible defense, really.
Yeah, But
I mean, square up and take a hit. I mean, if you're going to get called for, blocking, I mean, at least make it look better.
yeah. As far as my hometown team, not my alma mater, but my hometown team, Louisville is 1 win away from matching their total wins from the last 2 years. 12.
No.
I mean, it's good. We're on the right track. How can it get worse?
It's like in high school. Our high school football team only won 1 game my freshman year of high school, and then we doubled our record my sophomore year and won 2.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, no, Pat Kelsey, shout out to him. The past week or so, we've routed off 4 or 5 straight wins. We signed the number 1 point guard in next year's class. It's the second highest recruit Louisville's ever signed as far as since rankings have come out, and star rankings for that. So he's got the future holding. The team is gelling, and this is a brand new team. Literally, he brought a brand new team in from top to bottom using obviously transfer portal, NIL, and with that. So, and he's dealt with injuries. Basically, we started out the season with 2 of our starters. One just went out, probably our best player, overall player, Kason Pryor, tore his ACL in the Bahamas against Oklahoma. It was by our own, it was just, friendly fire of Chucky was guarding the guy. The guy kind of was taken to the hole, came in kind of a little shove. When he fell down, he went right into his knee, tore his ACL, which stunk. But he's rallied the troops. We beat North Carolina by 13. We just beat a really good, tough Clemson team by 10 last night. It's just Louisville fans it's nice to finally see us back to what I've grown up and loved watching as far as that's concerned. So that's really good there. It's finally going into the top 25 and stuff like that because we're now getting to conference play. This is really, really gets fun. If you're wanting to watch some college basketball, now's the time to do it, especially the SEC. SEC's taking a step back in football, but man, are they taking a huge step forward in basketball. That SEC conference is legit. Even South Carolina, who is the worst team, is still really good. But Florida knocks off number 1 Tennessee by 30 last night. And this is following their loss to UK, even though they scored 100 points. That UK Florida game was insane. It was amazing. But the final score was 100-106 in college. Okay, that's that's equivalent to what Oklahoma City and Cleveland did tonight, as far as scoring. As far as
by the third quarter.
By the third quarter, yeah. But yeah, you've got the SEC is a tough sled. As far as the ACC, it used to be one of the big basketball conferences. They've taken a step back, which is fine with me. With Louisville, kind of seemed like they could, flirt with it, but Duke is just really, really good when it comes to ACC. Oklahoma is playing really well, and again, SEC team.
Last couple of games have been
the Alabama game. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, and then today we lost to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
But that's further from the 17.
That is SEC. I mean, and every loss is not a bad loss.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's when a conference play. It's like
107-79. That's a bad loss.
Right. I'm just saying, like the teams itself. Like you didn't lose to an inferior opponent. That's the thing.
Yeah, we handled our business against Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
Proud of the boys for that one. Good job, guys.
Yeah. Hey, you've got it. You do have a championship this basketball season. You won the Bombers. So
which surprisingly we win 9 times out of 10. Like it seems like we're in the championship or we win it. But just be nice to see them show up in the tournament this year.
Yeah. And speaking about the ACC, Jim Larinaga, the Miami coach, first time, the only coach ever, to take Miami to a Final Four in program history. Mid-season, ever since then, it just the last year wasn't that great, and then this year hasn't been going great either. And he announced he resigned. Mid through he called it for NIL. We have his a little bit of his statement here. Click on that.
I'm exhausted. I've tried every which way to keep this going. And I know I'm going to be asked a lot of questions, but I want to answer them before I'm even asked. What shocked me beyond belief was after we made it to the Final Four just 18 months ago, the very first time I met with the players, 8 of them decided they were going to put their name in the portal and leave. I said, don't you like it yet? No, I love it. I love Miami. It's great. But the opportunity to make money someplace else created a situation that you have to begin to ask yourself as a coach, what is this all about?
I'll turn to you because I'm gonna kind of go back against Larinaga's comments, but I'll let you all talk real quick before I give my statement.
Yeah, I can kind of see where he's coming from. I think there's 2 points, and we've talked about this with NIL. I think NIL ultimately is a good thing because these players are getting paid, where before their image and likeness would be used in video games or be used by the school, and the school would make a bunch of money off of them, but they weren't making any money themselves unless it was like under the table. And so I think it's a good thing that they are getting paid now. But I can kind of see where he's coming from, where you're trying to build a team, you're trying to have things, and then someone wants to leave for money. We see the Tyreek Hill with leaving Kansas City for Miami, and then now, like, Kansas City's doing well without him. They didn't need him. But Miami, he's now upset that he's not winning, even though he's making more money now. And so you have a good thing going with the team. He's trying to build something, and I feel for the coaches that are trying to build something, especially I think if you're just leaving and going from school to school to school because of NIL, you're not really developing a foundation. And I think sometimes putting money in ahead of actually developing your sport is not a great thing for developing the sport. So I can kind of see where he's coming from. I don't know if I said that succinctly enough, but
I got it.
Yeah. I mean, with any change, there's going to be waves, and unfortunately for these older coaches, and I mean, I'm even looking at Oklahoma as far as a football team. These kind of older-minded coaches, like they can't handle that. Mm-hmm. Especially when we talked about it, more I think with the college football part, but these coaches put in so much time and effort to just win them over out of high school, and then all of a sudden they go to the Final Four, and then all of them leave because of better deals. So it sucks. I mean, I feel for these coaches. I can see why Saban left, and some others will probably leave here soon. So you'll see this big disruption in coaching, and almost like kind of like a boycott as far as for how the financiers are interfering with a lot of the traditional coaching practices and recruitment. But eventually the waters will even out. Mm-hmm. And there will be 2-year contracts. There will be 3-4-year contracts with incentives, just like the NFL. And he asks, what is this all for? It's for fucking money, dude. That's why you're there. You're there for money because they paid
it cut him off
than somebody else did. I mean, not to keep shitting on Arkansas, but go to Central Arkansas if you really are for the love of the game. No, you're in Miami. But that also brings me to my next point of what was the number? That's what I want to know. Show me the money. Show me the number. How close were you to not losing them, but you decided to be petty and not pay them as much as another school did, right? Yeah. Or, hey, maybe these other schools have a little bit better financial backing because it is booster clubs, it is sponsorship deals. There's a lot that is involved that I don't even know about as far as within that formula of revenue that is going towards the compensation for these players. But that's what I want to see. I want to see, I hate the heartstring aspect of it to where, like you see these teams that probably could go on to be great teams are just getting early going to an early grave because people are just uprooting and leaving. But it is Miami, and apparently nobody wants to be in fucking Miami. So sorry, Soul.
And just to go to that, I was finding the short clip because I was like, I don't want us to watch the 33-minute one where he gives his whole thing. So at the end, he did say it's for money. That's why they're leaving. So like he understands why they're leaving. So he agrees with you on that point.
There you go. Good job, Coach.
But I want to put on here, Ryan. He put NIL is the wild, wild west right now. Need a better balance between with NIL and room and board. I agree that NIL is going a little crazy right now. And I think it should exist, as I said. But as you said, too, maybe a 2-year contract, maybe finding ways to balance between wanting to actually build a team and then getting these kids paid for what they deserve. Because, as I said before, if you look at the past, these kids, some of them were destitute. And they were making so much money for their schools.
And they would get penalized if they got any money from somebody support-wise.
Or you fed them a cheeseburger.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Before, I mean, the rules of them getting any compensation, monetary or just even food-wise, was absolutely preposterous, which is what led to this moment. So, I mean, if you're upset about the change you're seeing now, look at your past.
Yeah.
And usually blame that because there's always a cause and effect, and we're just seeing that. But give it 5 to 10 years, it'll kind of level out a little bit. The money will settle, and then the recruitment will kind of go back to what it was, but just with a lot more financial incentive. But people will want to stick with it, and it may just take hello there. It may just take a few of their peers as leaders. Maybe like the number, the top 10 players to basically say, no, I'm staying here because I want to build something, right?
They need to be a UD.
Brady and all the others that have done that. Yeah, say again, sorry.
And they need to be a UD. Udonis Haslam, as I said, he took a pay cut so that way we could have LeBron, we could have Chris Bosh. And not a lot of people are going to do that. Or not, and even with UM, it's not that these kids were taking a pay cut. It's just they could get paid more somewhere else. And so you have to really love a school, want to be at that school, and to want to stay, even if Dom Toretto.
More people are leaving Miami. You heard it. More people are leaving Miami as we speak. They're evacuating the city.
Someone check online. Did Jimmy Butler just get traded? Did he just leave? Is that him leaving?
Yeah. Dom Toretto was giving him a ride.
Yeah. He just gave Wicked a Golden Globe. Now he's leaving.
But I'm gonna just leave it at Dom. Dom had the last word.
So I agree that NIL is kind of the Wild West because even like when the kids have agents, you know how you become an agent? You just say I'm an agent. It's just that's just how it is. So kids might be getting, terrible advice on that. When you see kids going from school to school to school, it hurts their development. They're just bag chasing, all that. I get all that. Kids deserve to get paid. We've said that for years. But the thing is how do you regulate it? That's hard because every time, because NCAA is basically just, which is good because I realized through all of Louisville's court cases or like all the scandals and stuff that they went through with the NCAA, they were punishing them based off of hearsay, which is the biggest bullshit thing ever. So the fact that NCAA is like that, they can go F themselves in a corner. But there needs to be some type of regulation because you have kids, for like example, football, they can transfer to a school, go through spring camp, go through all that, and then transfer out before the season starts. They can transfer twice before the season starts, which is insane on that. But that's football. Getting back to what Jim Larinaga said. And I like telling someone, fuck you. Getting back to what Jim Larinaga said. And I like Jim Larinaga. I think he's a great coach, and he was excellent for the game. But what he is complaining about, these players, he did to build that Final Four team. He used NIL and the transfer portal to build that team, number one. Number two, I'm sounding like Stephen A right now. But number two. you were complaining because we just went to a Final Four and now all these kids are leaving. Let me take you a history back. Jim, you were at George Mason. You just won a Final Four. What did you do after that? Did your AD go, man, we got something built here? You're like, well, actually, I'm going to go to Miami. Because that's exactly what you did. So what you're complaining about your players that did to you when you won a Final Four is exactly what you did. It's just hard for me to sit there and say, I'm with you. I get what you're complaining about, but literally what you're complaining about is what your players did to you is exactly what you did to George Mason and how you built your team to get to that Final Four. It's the belly of the beast. And I understand that I don't know how your negotiation skills is, and I'm with Ryan. You have to recruit your own players to keep them on the team, much less bring other players in. It sucks. It's a dog-eat-dog world. It's a new atmosphere that no one is still trying to get used to and hasn't figured it out yet. But you can't complain about the game that you literally did to get where you're at and get to that Final Four. I can't. I'm with you, and it stinks, and it tires you out because you're dealing more because it's taking out what you love, which is literally coaching the game. That's why you're doing it. You're not there to recruit players 24/7, then coach them for 10 minutes and then hope it works out. And people are poaching your players because tampering is happening left, right, and center. It sucks. Hell, Rick Pitino is not having his team go through the handshake line in fear of the opposing coaches getting in that player's ear. So that side of it sucks. But it's just hard for me to back you when you literally did what you're complaining about.
Yeah, we both hit it at the exact same time. That's awesome. Yeah, good job, Josh.
Good job, Josh.
Love it. Good monologue. Always a good Josh rant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm here for it. That is wild. I did not know about the Patino deal of not even like shaking hands.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
It just recently happened where he's not even having his team go through the handshake line.
I mean, that's petty as fuck.
It's Patino, trust me.
It's petty Tino. That's what it is. Pet Tino.
And that's what people are saying, like, because I don't know, maybe that, but they said that's what the scuttlebutt is, and I saw the video of his team not going through the handshake line because of all the tampering that can be involved. So, but yeah, it's just hard for me to, like Tony Bennett for Virginia literally retired right before the season started. Mm-hmm. I understand where he comes from because how his system works, he has to have players stay there for 4 years in his system. And Virginia is like he has had some NBA players, but most of the time they're kind of like Miami Heat in they don't have like those superstar guys out there, but he has to have them for 4 years. If they keep getting the transfer portal, he can't keep that system. Tony Bennett understand. Larinaga he was too hypocritical based off how he built that team, that Final Four team, and what he did with George Mason.
Yeah. It's one of those where I agree with his statements if you take it out of the bubble of himself doing it.
Yeah.
So you could be like, oh, you're a hypocrite, but you're actually like what he's saying, I kind of agree with.
No, it stinks when you're like, I mean, as a fan of Louisville, and you're just like, you did everything. But here's the problem. Like, you get a 5-star kid, 2 things are going to happen. At least in football, right? Like just go with this if you're a mid-tier team, not like Alabama. Any of it happens to Alabama. But say you're a 5-star kid, right? You get money just to go there. Then 2 things are going to happen. Either one, you don't get enough playing time that you think you are, and you go on to another school because you already have your name and you are a big name, or you are a superstar for that team, and then the bigger schools with the bigger pocketbooks poach them from that team. So it's a lose-lose situation, and that unless you can really keep them there, and it's very tough to do. So from that standpoint, what Larinaga is getting at, I get. But if Tony Bennett said it, that'd be one thing. Larinaga's got a little, it's kind of a glass half thing with that.
The only thing that I would say to and I agree with you there, I wonder how much, and again, they're kids, even though they're legally adults, they're still children. Their prefrontal cortex is not fully developed yet. Mm-hmm. So this is as an adult speaking.
They still can't rent a vehicle on their own, so they're kids.
True. Nope. If I can jump from school to school and make more money, if I know I'm never going to be a professional player,
right,
then that's something that I would do just to let me make my bag now. But if you are like the best of the best coming out of high school, like you have a shot at going pro, I would want to be at somewhere the full time to have my development be better. Because when you switch from team to team, that hurts your development.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't know if those kids are thinking about that. That'd be something that I would want to think about. But again, this is me saying that as an adult.
Right.
So I don't know if I ever had the chance of being a professional athlete, if I would think about that at that time, at that age, at like 18. So I don't know.
That's why I use football, because I know they have to be there for at least a few years. That's why I use that. Because like typically, if you're a 5-star kid out of high school, and basketball wise, if you're planning on transferring, it's going to be transferring to the draft.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would also like to see where those kids went, right? Like specifically which schools, because if it is one where that has a little bit more prestige, maybe with the NBA, then maybe it's a good move for their career. And I even had the thought, but then quickly killed it, where, maybe this will show, immaturity to their NBA owners or, whoever drafts them and, is looking in the future. But everybody in the NBA is doing it. Mm-hmm. Thanks to LeBron and others that, really kind of with that kind of the era that we're in, they just go where the money is. And I mean, they'll stay there for a few years, but then they just leave and, basically just go to the highest bidder. And that doesn't always work out. All right, Brooklyn, looking at y'all. That fucking sucked, man. What happened? You guys were supposed to be the big rival. No, you didn't do shit.
Yeah, it is rare to see just a person stay with one team now in this era of the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, UD literally has the state of Florida tattooed on his back, so I knew he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hometown kid too.
Yeah, he's from Miami. Like, yeah, I knew UD wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I like it though. Yeah, what's also weird, talking about with college basketball, guess how many of the top 10 are SEC teams?
7?
Close. 6.
Yeah.
6 of the top 10 are SEC.
So they're a basketball conference now?
That's what I said at the beginning. I said, football's taking a step back.
Yeah.
You're a basketball conference now.
Yep, I really did. And then you got 3 more teams inside the rest of the top 25.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is nuts. I mean, I knew it was a thing, but then like actually looking at some of the stats and numbers, that's wild. But they're also going to beat each other up. It's not going to be that way at the end of the season. But luckily, we have a very big March Madness bracket to fill out coming soon, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Excited.
One day, the Big Ten's finally going to get another national championship. They haven't had one since 2000 when Michigan State won it. So the Big Ten conference. And they got more chances now. They got more teams. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, just not in the top 10.
Really quick before we go to miscellaneous, want to speak a little Unrivaled?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's do it.
All right.
Wait, I don't know. Kelsey Plum's not in. I don't care.
All wild cards have been revealed, and we had some trades already happening before the season started. Originally, Phantom picked up Katie Lou Samuelson with their wild card. She currently plays for the Indiana Fever and was an NCAA champion with UConn. There's a lot of UConn players. But then a trade happened. The Laces traded Courtney Williams to the Lunar Owls in exchange for Natasha Cloud. After getting Natasha Cloud, the Laces then traded her and their final wildcard pick to the Phantom in exchange for Jackie Young and Tiffany Hayes. And then so the Phantom got to pick up another wild card and got to pick a new player, and that player is Sabrina Ionescu.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina, 2024 WNBA champion with the New York Liberty, 2024 Paris Olympic gold medalist, 2022 FIBA World Cup winner. So Phantom technically got 2 wild cards when all was said and done. And their team is now Katie Lou Samuelson, Sabrina Ionescu, fellow Oregon Ducks, Sato Sabale, Marina Mabry, BG, and Natasha Cloud. So thoughts on picking up Sabrina?
I'm not going to waver from my pick. But to be all pun intended, the Phantoms are a little scary now.
Mm-hmm.
So
they got her and BG.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Sabrina just threw a nice little wrinkle into what could happen.
Yeah. And your girl Marina Mabry with spelled differently.
Yeah, she's we can get to court and figure that out, but
and then speaking on that as well, Laces are now Jackie Young, Tiffany Hayes, Caleb McBuckets, Alyssa Thompson, Kate Money Martin, and Big Mama Stephanie Dolson. So their team is actually pretty fun as well. All these teams are fun.
Yeah.
And then we had a reveal. The TNT broadcast team was revealed. And so we have here, I don't know, Brendan Glasheen.
You don't know Brendan Glasheen? Oh my gosh, dude.
He owes me money.
Absolutely incredible. Famous play-by-play announcer.
Maybe I know him by his voice and not by his name.
You should know him from his LinkedIn picture right there too.
And then Lisa Leslie as an analyst and Sarah Kustok as an analyst. Then here are the sideline reporters. I'm sure they're very good at their jobs. I don't really know them.
Taylor is great at her job. She's
And-
phenomenal.
yeah, she's real good friends with Joy Taylor, so.
And then the studio coverage team, Candace Parker, Renee Montgomery, and Lauren Jabara. So Candace and Renee, I know those two. So that's going to be a really fun studio coverage team. So any thoughts there?
Yeah. We'll see. I'm excited for it. I just hope that they bring the spiciness, much like they did with was it some of the 3-on-3 commentary. But or I don't know. I just want it to just not be cookie cut, because nothing annoys me more than to see diversity in the hiring process, or just kind of like being inclusive, and then they just do the same shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're calling a game. It's basketball. It's like, dude, be your fucking self. Like, show your personality. Like, let that resonate. You can still do play by, call by call, play by play, and the commentary, but just don't do that same old bullshit cadence. That well, we're not on the radio anymore. Let's bang a pot and pan. Back to you. It's like I will so quickly turn off. Like,
this isn't your grandma's basketball coverage.
Yeah, like it gets so old. So please bring your game, bring your A game, be yourself. And any sports media people out there, I will gladly pay money to not listen to commentary. Like, that's NFL. That is everything. Like, give me the crowd noise. I want to feel like I'm fucking there. I don't want somebody just jabbing in my ear, talking nonsense just because they get paid to talk. That's my
I am going to go. Unraveled starts on the 17th. I am going to their January 20th game. I'm going to try to do a vlog. It's not a full promise, but a vlog might come of me going to the game and my experience there. So that's something to possibly get excited for. Don't get too excited. It might happen.
And I know I made a little side joke there. Yeah, allegedly she's really good friends with Joy Taylor. I want to kind of backtrack a little bit on that. But I felt like whatever I just said, when she stumbles upon it, because I know she's a big fan of our show, she's gonna be like, at 50 Cent me, like, F me, what'd she say F me for?
Yeah.
Just like, why she call me out? Like, what the heck? I didn't mean to.
She didn't catching strays, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so I am almost excited, possibly, for the opportunity that you may or may not do a vlog. I mixed emotions. I just have so many mixed emotions right now.
We'll see.
It would be great if you do it.
I think this is perfect to get into our best moments of 2024.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, you guys start.
Speaking about that FS1 article, Shannon Sharp.
Hey, you buried the lead.
Yeah.
Josh, you want to go first?
Yeah. My couple of things that were really my favorite. Obviously, if you've watched the show,
by the way.
huh?
Who is your Michelle?
That's different. That's a different show. If you want to know that, join us on the Discord because I end up embarrassing myself a lot on there.
Something about dragons.
Yeah, it's just okay. It happened. If you weren't there, it didn't. Whatever. It wasn't recorded.
It's not. What happens in the Discord stays in the Discord.
Yes, exactly. But Xavier Leggett, my dude, it was just everything. He was just awesome. And my favorite part was him literally like for Thanksgiving, and he was so excited because his family caught a raccoon for them to eat for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, you act like it's hard to catch a raccoon, number one. Like, all you have to do is just set a trash bag out and then wait. Like, it's just going to happen. Like, I don't know how hard it is to catch a raccoon. Number two, the fact that you think it's like a delicacy because the thing's full of parasites. Like, you have to cook it. And so there's a video of him bringing the raccoon for all of his teammates to try out. And even some of the reporters are trying out. And it looked like shredded jerky that he just like puts in his lip and just gets the juice out of it. But that's how much you have to cook it in order to make sure nothing is going to make you sick about it. But yeah, just Xavier Leggett just being Xavier Leggett, number one. And then my favorite one as well is the Vandy student section. And some people didn't even go there, but they were joining in on carrying the goalposts that they tore down when they beat Alabama all the way down Broadway in Nashville and throwing it into the river. And if you don't know how busy Broadway in Nashville is, we've never been there. Shout out to the security and the police officers for clearing the way for those students to do something that they never thought were going to be possible, which is one, beating a team that's actually good, much less Alabama. And they were like, we're tearing it down. And then everyone just like, let them do it. They've earned this. And then the overhead shot.
Like, you can't stop it.
No, you can't stop it.
You try to fight it, you're just turning that into a drunk.
And people on Broadway are just joining in. Just to have,
they're like, what are we doing? We're going to the quad.
Why? Down the gymnasium. And if you don't think
out of the lyric, I mean, Jason Aldean playing there.
Yeah, Luke Bryan just like, Did
we really just call this? I try to think of the only country person I could pull right now is Jason Aldean.
Morgan Wallen throwing chairs, helping him out. It was a big thing. And then the shot from the helicopter of all the kids. Like
go watch our short.
Yeah, go watch our short because they had a couple of drinks during the game because their balances were just not good. And then them fishing out the goalposts, and then Vanderbilt. They get to give it back to Vanderbilt so they can cut up the goalposts and sell each piece to help pay for the fine that the SEC fines each team for storming the field. So that was one of my favorite stories. Those are a couple of my favorite stories of 2024.
I guess I'll go next. Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
like that was super exciting. That was something that happened at the beginning of 2024. Ellie the elephant. Like, honestly, everything with Ellie the elephant, best mascot. And that's someone who went to a school that has an amazing mascot in Big Red. I think Ellie might overtake Big Red, maybe just a little bit. And that hurts my heart.
Don't you say that.
I know. I know it hurts my heart because I love Big Red. The Olympics in general, the Olympics were a lot of fun.
So many stories out of that.
And then the Yankees losing the World Series and Big Papi being hilarious. Like that was a highlight for me as a Boston Red Sox fan.
I did that did cross my mind about the Yankees losing it and then them losing Juan Soto and blaming, oh, you just go for the money. I'm like, that's literally how you build your team. Shut up.
And then the compilations of Big Papi just going, the Yankees lose.
Yeah.
And then putting it to different songs. Go look them up. They're amazing. We'll get copyrighted if we show the songs.
Dude, I'm excited to see this now.
But they're great.
Yeah. I mean, so many to choose from. I mean, like you said, the Yankees losing, the Olympics was incredible. I mean, Chiefs just keep winning. So much, but man, I gotta tell you what. ray gun
Yeah.
is one of my absolute favorite fucking moments. Because no one trolled harder than my girl Ray Gun out of Australia and just totally shit on the Olympic sport of breakdancing.
That only
Which-
lasted for one Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, come on, it's I mean, it's ballet, an Olympic sport. I mean, I love breakdancing. I love thinking that I could breakdance. Doing like the, oh, hey, and then they're like, nope, I can't do this. Like, as soon as I try to get down. But dude, for her to get on the team because she wrote a paper about it and then just completely troll the actual breakdancers were amazing, by the way. I mean, absolutely phenomenal in what they can do and contort their body and, kind of the timing. But yeah, I mean, to me, she showed what the Olympics has really become. And it's a fucking joke. It's a
I don't
joke.
agree with that.
Nobody
part,
cares
but-
about it. That's why they started adding all this other shit. You don't even have football in it. You know what I mean? But you got breakdancing. Okay.
Breakdancing will be gone in LA. Baseball's coming back. Softball's coming back.
I'm still not coming back though. Sorry, Olympics. But I am here for all of the social media and the internet trolling, which was absolutely incredible.
And Snoop Dogg.
Come on, look at that. Like, that's the best move I have ever seen since the Disney show Dinosaurs. Absolutely incredible.
Snoop Dogg and Flava Flav at the Olympics, and then Martha taking Snoop to equestrian.
Yeah.
All those stuff was fun. Ryan saying, I would say Casey Carson Steele pets alligator.
Yeah. Carson Steele's. Yeah, he does have. I think it's technically a crocodile, but yeah, he does have a dangerous animal just hanging out in his house that he had since I think that since he was really young. So, but then I mean the other moment, and it really wasn't in sports. It was kind of related.
That's my Michelle.
Oh, that's my Michelle, baby. Shannon Sharp, who may or may not be in even more trouble. We don't know what's going on with that stuff. But Shannon Sharp accidentally going on Instagram Live while pleasuring the shit out of his beautiful Michelle. Because even just trying to get that audio clip, that was the only 2 seconds she was not screaming. So... pleasure screams, by the way, folks. Pleasure screams. But if you did not know that was a thing, look it up. It's on YouTube. People have probably reposted it 1,000 times, even though others may be trying to take it down.
Go watch the episode where we talk about it.
Yeah, watch the episode that we talk about it. Watch the episode that Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco talk about it.
Yeah.
Because Ocho just gives him the hard time, and he's like,
Yeah.
Yep, that happened. I shouldn't have done it. Nope, but it happened. And just, I love how he just owned the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't fight it. Didn't put out he did put out a little thing like, oh, I accidentally, someone hacked my thing, and then quickly after he's like, yeah, no, I'm a dumbass. But yeah, he's a dumbass, but he's a pimp, and we love him for it, and Michelle loves him for it as well.
Yeah.
I also love becoming an absolute villain in the sports world. You see, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. And the Chiefs have been rocking, and heads have been rolling, and we'll see what the Thunder do. But it has been absolutely incredible to see the internet lose their ever-living mind because of the Chiefs and how they keep winning. Because, I mean, never mind that it's a 2-time MVP that's actually, winning those games. It's got to be the refs. Oh, then we lose a game. Oh, well, they threw it. Like,
Thank you for losing that game, by the way.
yeah, you're welcome. It didn't matter for Miami. Sorry. You guys got to win a game to get in. But for people that think like that. I don't know that everything's scripted. You do not know ball, and you do not know shit, and you got a little pea brain that you're using to try to compute all this incredible information that we have in the world, because we don't care. Like we're just winning games, and then whenever we're gonna rest players because we've been injured all season, we're gonna do that. And sorry, Bengals fans, maybe y'all should have stopped sucking earlier, and maybe you would be in the playoffs. But y'all are trash, and you guys are trash pandas. You're trash Bengals. You're not even a majestic tiger. You're like a calico cat, like a mangy stray calico cat. So y'all keep it up with that. But I love being the villain this year. I'll gladly accept that title. I'll be your Thanos, and then whenever we get 3 rings this year, be like that.
As a Dolphins fan, I said it before. Goes, you guys can win. I don't care about that. I just need you to lose 1 game, and you did it, and so I'm happy for that.
Yeah, but also
You
you
can
guys
go
only
on-
won 12 games, so
Yeah.
it's neither here nor there.
Hey,
Yeah.
I get to be happy about something, and I'm saying that your team can win now, and I'll be fine. So don't be an ass.
Oh, that's hard for me. I'm villain mode. Sorry.
Tshka, I'm glad you brought up ray gun because this is
Mm-hmm.
probably one of the best memes I've ever seen when it comes to that.
Yeah. Great Photoshop, maybe AI assisted, but it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, crap. Hit the wrong button. We're doing great.
Yep. We're doing good. Let's keep this train rolling, baby.
Yeah. What we got
Choo, choo.
for kicking and screaming?
All right. Emma Hayes names players for January training camp and futures camp. Training camp is for the players currently on the U.S. Women's National Team to train in the NWSL off-season, those that are not playing overseas in Europe. And the futures camp is an opportunity for Emma to see young talent and who might have a future with the U.S. Women's National Team. This is the first time that we're doing a futures camp, so we got some youngins that were called in. Interesting things of note for the training camp: goalkeepers, Casey Murphy, possibly successor to Nair. She has the most caps of the goalkeepers that were called up in this training camp. Mandy McGlynn, she had her first cap in 2024 in the September camp. And Angelina Anderson never has been called up before. Don't really know who she is, but maybe she could be the future goalkeeper of the U.S. Women's National Team. You never know.
She's got big shoes to feel.
Yep. Crystal Dunn is back in the team. She had taken an extended leave of absence from both the U.S. Women's National Team and her club team, Gotham, for personal reasons. And people were speculating that she might be pregnant again. But turns out she's not, and she's back. So maybe one day she'll reveal what was going on. But she also doesn't owe us any of that. But I hope she's okay, or that she was okay, or is going to be okay, or if it was bad, or if it's good. I don't know. But she is one of my faves, so I'm glad that she's going to be playing again. Also interesting, she is named as a defender. She can play anywhere on the field pretty much, and has played anywhere on the field, both club and country. But mostly has played left back for the U.S. Women's National Team. This past year, however, she has been playing as a forward for club and country, so it looks like she's going back to being an outside back. We have some uncapped players, so players who have never played for us before. As I said, goalkeeper Angelina Anderson, defenders Tara McCohen and Ryan Williams, midfielder Neely Martin, and forward Ella Stevens. A side note, maybe we can make Neely Martin our goalkeeper. In a pinch, she has had to play goalkeeper for Gotham twice when the goalkeeper was red carded and Gotham didn't have any more subs. The most famous occasion was when they won the 2023 NWSL championship. In the final moments of the game, she was the goalkeeper and they had a kick that went in, and so like she's short too. She's not a tall person. She's a forward, and she's played goalkeeper twice for Gotham. So they've definitely sold a goalkeeper jersey with her last name on it since those things, because So maybe she'll be Alyssa's heirs.
It's just, hey, whoever takes that spot, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough shoes to feel.
And speaking of Gotham, Gotham has the most players on the roster: Tiana Davison, Crystal Dunn, Jenna Neiswanger, Emily Sonnet, Neely Martin, and Ella Stevens. So that Gotham is running deep in the U.S. Women's National Team. Interesting notes for the Futures Camp. We have a mix of women who play professionally and those who play in college. One of the goalkeepers called up is Mia Justice. She's the cousin of Tim Howard, played college at both Florida State and University of Texas, and is currently signed with the Utah Royals. The younger sister of Alyssa Thompson, Giselle, was named to this roster. Alyssa Thompson went to the 2023 World Cup as an 18-year-old, so it seems that we're getting now her little sister coming into the fold. The colleges representative, we have one from Georgia, 4 from Florida State, 1 from Rutgers, 1 from University of Texas, 2 from UNC, and 1 from Princeton. The NWSL teams represented, 1 from Utah Royals, 2 from Seattle Reign, 1 from Bay FC, 1 from Washington Spirit, 1 from Gotham, 1 from Angel City, 2 from KC Current, 1 from North Carolina Courage, 1 from the Chicago Now Stars, used to be called Red Stars, and 1 from the Houston Dash. And then we got a USLW League team represented, Brooklyn FC, with 1 person from there. So thoughts on this training camp and futures camp?
Yeah, well, it's a good thing they changed their name because Red's our word. You can't use it.
No, it's always cool to see the next crop coming up and what they're doing and where they're coming from and all that, to get to know them, because this is the future. Because unfortunately, we are changing eras in the U.S. women's soccer team. Now they're in good hands because Trinity Rodman's there. There might be a couple other good players, but they're still going to be fine. But it's just good to see Emma, getting that culture built, not just from their main roster, but throughout the whole organization, and getting those other girls developed and in that culture and in that system and stuff. So if there is someone getting hurt or just not playing and they get called up, they already know what is needed of them, and how Emma coaches. So it's not going to be a hard transition if they get called up into that situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess with coffee, there's a little bit of bitterness, even if you sweeten it up. So I guess with triple espresso, that's Trinity Rodman. Yeah. She's the worst part of it. But because there's 2 other phenomenal ones that are so nice. Play nice too. But again,
Sophie Smith's that fake sugar they give you.
Hey, the new studies are saying that it's actually good to have some sweetener. But no, dude, the Crystal Dunn of it all. I hate to kind of, for there to be so much conjecture into that. But yeah, hopefully everything is gonna good there. But congratulations on being named defender, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna be a quadruple espresso with that mix. But yeah. I mean, and it's good to see some of them getting the break that they need. Like I said, the new cream of the crop. I gotta start looking some of these up. For one, I didn't even know Utah had a fucking team. It said the Utah Royals, and I was like, what? Utah? The Mormons have soccer teams? And they do. So hopefully they're just as salty as the lake there.
They're more lords than kings and queens, if you think about it, as far as the royalty is concerned.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the multiple wives kind of thing. But no, I mean, come on now. It's KC Current, baby. I'm just ready for this next year. Ready for a little bit of redemption. Year 2 in the stadium. Let's get it going. And I don't know. Maybe people will complain that the refs are helping the Kansas City Current too this next year. I don't know. We'll see.
But it just stinks when you went over the colleges, and there's not one from Cal coming up either. So just no one to replace. No one replace it.
No Louisville represented either.
No, but it's just the Cal thing with Alex Morgan. Just I know it's
more from Florida State though.
Hey, we get but even though it was like North Carolina's women's soccer team's been winning it like back to back and stuff. So.
And then last note in soccer, Netflix signed an exclusive deal with FIFA for the rights to show the 2027 and 2031 Women's World Cup. So the Women's World Cups are going to Netflix.
I mean, Netflix is getting all the sports.
Yeah.
At this point, they had a couple of the NFL games. I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing some type of basketball at some point. They have all the sports documentaries going. They just gave $5 billion. I know it's sports entertainment and it's scripted and all that stuff, but it's still a physical show that physicality and stuff is happening with WWE. They signed that for $5 billion. So they are figuring out that they know what they need to do. They need to start taking that next step because Netflix was losing money. They were up on their charges. At least, and so they're like, all right, well, how can we get other audiences to us? Let's start doing live sports because they saw how well it worked with Peacock doing their streaming, Amazon doing their streaming, and then obviously Paramount Plus does have the CBS stuff, but you don't really hear that a whole lot as much as you do Peacock because Peacock covers like motocross and stuff too. So
they had the Olympics this past
year. And they had the Olympics.
Really
so they like those streaming services. Netflix is trying to figure out how to fit in there.
Yeah, Paramount only has like the 2-time reigning NFL champions playing on there all the time.
And
So
also for Paramount, my dad uses Tvshka's login all the time for soccer content.
Yeah. Aren't they? Doesn't soccer a lot stream on Apple Plus?
Soccer streams on everything depending on what league. So MLS is on Apple. The Champions League is with CBS and on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe they need to change the name to Sportsflix because, good Lord, that's going to be a lot of sports content. And hopefully they figure out how to work in their capacity. Be able to kind of handle all that because I heard even with the NFL games, there's a little bit of a jankiness every now and then.
There was definitely some jankiness during Beyonce's halftime performance because more people were tuning in on the halftime. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the game
tuning out.
The game was pretty much over at halftime. So.
Yeah, they could just take my seat. I'm good.
Yeah.
But that's all I have for soccer. Any other thoughts from you guys?
No.
Yeah. I mean, Sophia Smith's just that much better every time.
We're already at 2 hours, dude. I don't want to be right all the time, so we just can move on.
Dude, right? Yeah. Okay, sure.
So we're going to light the lamp. I'm going to talk about Josh's team first for a second.
We won a couple. Woo!
Since our last show, the Preds beat the Kings, the Hurricanes, the Canucks, and the Flames, winning 4 out of the 9 games, which is better stretch of games for the Preds than normal for this year. So congrats to the Preds. How you feeling about them?
The fact that
you guys aren't last anymore.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's because we're just excited to not be last. And because with our roster we have, again, I'm not thrilled about it. I thought by now with our veteran players that we have, they'd already be starting to make a climb. And no, we're just trying not to be last. Still, this far into the season. It's a little depressing. And it's just a lot of people are like, oh, you want to go see the Preds? I'm like, yeah, because it's hockey, but I'd rather just go just to see the other team at this point.
Enjoy the cheap tickets, okay?
Yeah.
Because whenever they win a championship, those tickets are going to jump up, and then you will not really want to even afford to pay to go see them after that.
My friend and I were actually having a talk about this a few days ago about how when your sports team sucks, it's some of the most fun and terrible times of your life because the tickets are so cheap that you get to go to the games and actually watch and have a fun time, even though like you're also having a terrible time because your team sucks.
Yeah, so you get a bobblehead. So just enjoy it.
Yeah,
manage your expectations. Go there to have fun. Support them. Be fucking loud.
Yeah,
cheer for them. Don't boo them. You're not Boston. You can be better
Philly.
than that. Or Philly. Oh my God.
Yeah. But the Preds have reached that meme level of someone broke into my car and left 4 Preds tickets. You know, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. Also, just to kind of go back to it, come on, Hurricanes, just make the playoffs. That's all I want you to do right now. Once you get a seat at the table, I just want them to win so I can officially say I know puck.
Hey, the Preds beat the Hurricanes, so
I'm aware. It's like, come on, I'm glad we won, but then I just want to know puck too.
all right. And then now going to my team, since our last show, the Panthers beat the Wild, the Blues, the Lightning, then immediately lost to the Lightning in the following game because it was 2 games in a row against them. Lost to the Canadiens, beat the Rangers, lost to the Hurricanes, beat the Penguins, and lost to the Avalanche, winning 5 out of 9 games. So we're doing better than the Preds in this past week. Currently
Not hard to do.
Not hard to do. Currently second in the Atlantic Division. The Preds are in that state of, Kansas City football doesn't know this because they just keep winning. But when you have a championship team and then the following year, like they beat the good teams and then lose to bad teams. And it's just like, what are you doing kind of thing. But you're still like good, but because you have a championship winning team that is just going into the next year, but you're kind of just fumbling through things because you played such a longer season than everyone else because you went to the final. That's kind of where the Panthers are right now.
Yeah, that's what Kansas City. But Kansas City didn't lose to inferior teams. They just let them hang around and figure out ways to win. That was Kansas City's version of losing to inferior teams and losing to inferior teams, even though they lost. Because I can't talk shit about Kansas City. They lost to the Broncos, and which they really didn't. They were playing on their second string, and they lost to the Bills, who were really good. So I can't say talk crap there.
Football. We got 18 weeks of it.
Yeah, it was a great practice. 18 weeks of practice. Yeah, we get it.
For Travis Kelce to just go off on possibly the last 3 games of his career. But your Panthers sitting at 24-15. Only the Maple Leafs are above them, and it's Canada. They know a little bit about hockey.
I want the Maple Leafs to have the best record in all of hockey, just so they can lose in the first round and not get past it, because they haven't done that since 1997, and I love it because as a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, which are basically the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NFL, I want that to happen so bad.
Oh my God! Yeah, good. And you said it though, Dallas. I mean, I don't really have a hockey team. It was the Kansas City Blades back in the day, and that was really kind of the amateur league. But I guess by proximity, I got to go with Dallas, and they're not too bad. 25-13, only trailing the Wild and the goddamn Jets.
Yep. And
wait. The Jets are in first place. We're not going to say what sport, but the Jets are in first place.
Yeah, there's a team with the Jets, but they're not in America though. So maybe that's why. Yeah. Maybe they're. It's not Boeing Jets. It's a better airline.
Yeah. Well. One of my buddies at work. Speaking about the Jets, one of my buddies at work, we were like talking about NFL teams, and they were like, all the teams that stunk, and they were like, and it was like some guy goes, I thought the Jets were good, and I looked at him, I was like, dude, there's a reason most dumpsters are colored green. All right, just deal with it.
But going into current leaders, Atlantic is the Toronto Maple Leafs, Metropolitan, the Washington Capitals, Central, Winnipeg Jets, and Pacific, you got the Vegas Golden Knights. So those are our leaders going in at our first show of 2025.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's go Stars. Also,
don't be last. Don't be last.
This just in. Sorry. Wow, that thing scrolled weird.
You got it?
Bless it. There we go. I don't know why it jumped up.
I know you're getting to it.
This actually was just announced 30 minutes ago. The NFL has moved the Rams and Vikings game out of Los Angeles area to Arizona as the wildfires kind of shift. I mean, we're getting kind of hit pretty hard there in California with wildfires, and then the north is getting a lot of snow. And definitely prayers for everybody going through a lot of it. I know I've had
stay safe.
A lot, like a spike of posts from friends out in California saying that they're safe and their pets are safe. I don't know, California, figure your shit out, dude. Figure your shit out. Quit meddling in all these social politics and figure out how to clear underbrush and remove energy from the forest to where it's not catching fire. I don't know. It wasn't an issue back when the Native Americans had the land. Just saying. We knew how to take care of the forest. That's why all those old ash trees were still there. So figure it out. But for everybody else that is a resident, it absolutely sucks to just get uprooted. And just kind of see that devastation. And yeah, definitely prayers to everybody going through some shit right now.
Because I think they mainly moved it for the air quality being just so, it's just not, you can't do that. Because it was like, you need it to be like 140, I don't know. I heard it today on the radio. Someone's like, the air quality needed to be like 114. It's like 2 something. So it's just, you know, it was inevitable they were moving it to Arizona.
Well, you got
The
air quality
videos are... The
Their videos are
videos here are
scary.
crazy. Like
Scary.
it looks like kind of like what you would imagine like hell might look like,
Yeah.
with just everything on fire, and it's just a hill on fire. Yeah, they're pretty scary stuff. So I hope if we have anyone watching that is living in the California area, we hope that you're safe. We're praying for you, your family, your pets, and I know like you being safe is more important than your belongings, but I hope also like you don't lose everything either. So prayers up for everyone.
Yeah,
Definitely. And kind of to the move, you know, you got the air quality, but I mean, you also got it to where it's not under control. So, I mean, you can't make this change 24 hours before the game. And they would have had to postpone it 3 days and, you know, kind of move travel around. So I think this was a good move. Plus you also are not, you know, even though for those maybe going through some things, this is a bright spot, you know, maybe a little bit of an escapism, you know, for them as far as to be able to cheer their team on. But hey, maybe this is even more to where you can kind of travel and, you know, get out of town and, but definitely shout out to all of the firefighters. You know, I mean, it seems like the way they have to fight some of these things, it feels like a losing effort at times, but you know, they really are, you know, heroes out there in the woods. And so we appreciate you all. Be safe. And let's get weird, man.
Let's get weird.
It's so weird. If we weren't weird already.
We're so weird. Originally, we weren't going to have a sports meme of the week this week. And then right before we went live, I found one. So here we go. Josh, you want to take it away?
Is I just kind of chuckled to myself and laugh out loud and kind of going right with his laugh. So that
Dude, you have such a weird laugh, bro.
but yes, in 2024, Tyreek Hill had a total of 4 touchdown catches and 5 newborn children. So 9, whatever that number means.
No, he had more kids than he did touchdowns.
I'm aware, but 9 because I just want to be able to do math out loud.
Yeah.
Josh
and
can
if you
do
flip it
that.
upside down, it's a 6, and if you add them together, that is called love.
Yep, we're
Mutual love.
Yeah.
Mutually beneficial love.
That's why he needs to get out of Miami because he's way too.
He's
way
been.
too far.
Yeah, alimony tax there is insane.
I guess he lives in Broward County, which is the county north of us, because he's been to court in Broward County plenty of time for child support.
Yeah, but you better. He's chasing the king. That is Antonio Cromartie.
Or
dude.
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon's bad, but yeah, as far as NFL players,
Will Chamberlain.
Right, but Antonio Cromartie, as far as NFL players, I remember one time he had to ask for the Jets to like pay him so much money up front, even though it wasn't part of his contract, just to make sure he had enough for child support. So, and then the dude got fixed and it didn't work. Like he just couldn't catch a break. So yeah.
Yep. So to add to the weird, because we're all about stats here, we're all about the truth. Calvin Murphy actually is he had 14 children with 9 different baby mamas. That is 2 more and 1 more than Antonio Cromartie, who had 12 children with 8 women.
How many officially does Nick Cannon have?
I think
About a baker's dozen for
I
me,
think
Bob.
23. I think he was going for the Michael Jordan.
About 23.
You know what's sad is this is not the first time we've talked about, or I've had to search this. 12 kids currently.
It'd be funny. You had like fast internet. You Google it, and it's still like loading. It's like, hold on, we got to calculate this. Give me a second.
Oh, he just had another
update.
one.
Yep, he's had another one.
Yeah, here's an update. George Foreman, 12 kids, 2 adopted though. 2 of them are adopted, and with 4 women. So Evander Holyfield, 11. So yeah, boxers, man. Apparently not using the glove enough. Travis Henry, 11 children with 10. That's not great.
That's not great.
Like about one per. Come on, man.
Philip Rivers got a lot.
Yeah. And then they didn't say anything about Wilt Chamberlain, but he definitely had a lot. Maybe it was just because they don't have an actual number of that. But Wilt the stilt, he was using his stilts. Wilt Chamberlain kids.
He had fun in life. Okay, he had
dude,
fun in life.
So much fun.
Not only did he score 100 points in one game, he did that after the game, if you think.
While Tvshka is looking that up, Josh, where can the people find us?
The people can find us. Well, tomorrow you can catch up with Justin and I doing a Ruckus Wrestling as we are going to go talk about Raw that just debuted on Netflix. The Rock showing up on both Raw and NXT last night. And some of the other AEW, SmackDown, all that fun stuff. Any news that's going forward. So you can catch us there tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern. 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. There we go. And then on Friday, we're going to try and get it to go over our Bracket Bitches show when we go over the college football playoff and see how many people's bracket are busted. Spoiler alert, a lot. But some people still had Ohio State winning it all. In our bracket. So that'd be good for that. Tune in there. And then we have the game dudes. Now, as far as fantasy F around, we're going to be coming in sporadically throughout the year until the fantasy season actually kicks off. So me and Tvshka are looking to cover the draft, the actual NFL draft, not we're trying to do some mock drafts, but mainly as far as our next show that we're planning, we'll be doing covering the draft, where all guys are landing. How is that going to affect your fantasy drafts? So that's what we're going to look for there. So stick tuned with us. Join us on the Discord down there. And then obviously the game dudes will be on Wednesdays as of right now. We're kind of getting into the next act of Divinity, Original Sin. And then with Borderlands 4 coming out, we're looking to start maybe looking into that as well. And then obviously Rev wrap it up every week. Right now it's on Wednesdays, but we're still kind of trying to switch around some things. And then also Soul, your book club. I know you released a video before, new show, new series that we're starting, but tell the kids out there what to expect from.
Yeah, join our Discord down below because we are doing a Rev book club this year. And January's pick is Tuesday with Maury by Mitch Albom. This one was a pick just by me, but I want February and going forward for the people to suggest books and then vote on books. So it's not just me making all the decisions. And then the first Friday in February, we're going to go live talking about the book. If you're part of our Discord, you'll get that link and you can come in, talk about your favorite parts or your least favorite if you don't like the book. We want all the tea on both sides of the aisles. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm excited. I've seen some of our Discord members talking about buying the book, saying they just bought it from Amazon or they just bought it. Yeah, Josh just got it. Some saying they're going to listen to the audiobook. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Also, Julius Irving. That's who it was, not Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, Magic. Yeah.
Julius Irving. Yeah. Dr. J had quite a bit.
They're not Magic. Sorry, Julius Irving. Magic had fun though.
Yeah.
Magic did have fun.
Yeah, he did have fun. Sorry, my bad.
Watch Winning Time.
It was the Irving thing. Irvin Magic Johnson, Julius Irving. That's where I threw it off.
Oh, it wasn't the AIDS thing? Okay.
You said the part out loud. I did. Okay. Yeah. So anyway.
Ready for our moment of Zen?
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh crap! Come on.
Con nuestra capitana.
Easy pun. That's a good boy.
Se
That's a
levanta
good
la
boy.
banca, alguna de la alternativa que tiene José Letelier. Y miren, se va a empezar
Give him the
a
ball.
jugar, va a
Give him the ball.
jugar.
Oh, he was a belly rub.
Vamos a ver quién logra sacar este perrito.
Bueno, ahí está la árbitra también de este partido.
There's no rule that said a dog can't play soccer.
De esta jornada. Sí, Leo.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Go for the ball.
I mean, we need more dogs on the field. Like football games, halftime shows. You know, I don't care.
Interrupting the game.
Yeah.
¿Y es regalón?
Georgia
Getting all the
Bulldogs,
loves.
Let the dogs loose, man. Let 'em run. People love it.
She's like, no, I got this. It's a dog.
Entonces, para que puedas
He's
seguir
like,
el fútbol.
he's a man.
Nos vemos, perrito Walter. Que te vaya bien. Fernanda Pinilla también ahí ayudando. Entre todas colaboran.
She said, "Nos vemos, perrito." Which is like, "See you next time, dog." Que te vaya bien, which means I hope that you have a good time. So, like, saying goodbye to the dog there, the announcer was. But we had a
And shout out to
pitch
Ryan.
invader.
He already finished the book. So there you go.
Yay! But that's the best type of pitch invader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they used to have, they train the dogs to get the bats at like, AAA teams. And then you have dogs that are also, they go get the tees once the kickoff happens. So now we just need dogs to go out there and like be on the, just go out there randomly on a soccer field. Really get the kids.
Airbud this shit.
Yeah, airbud the shit. There's
Well,
like I said, there's no.
back in the '90s with Matt LeBlanc where they had a chimpanzee, I believe. Baseball, so.
Mr. Ed had an inside the field home run inside the park home run against Sandy Koufax. True story. Watch it. It's a hilarious clip.
Heck yeah.
But we'll see you guys next week. Have a great night.
See you.
That's my machine.
There's my